I thought it would be a great idea to build commercial kitchens and create a place where people of all means and backgrounds can pursue their dreams of starting a food business.
Rhode Island is a state where food matters. From the shores of the Atlantic to the tables of Rhode Island's many restaurants, it is a culture that runs deep.
In Warren, Hope and Main Food Collaborative provides small-scale, boutique food producers, farmers, and fishermen with the resources to scale and maintain their business.
We spent a day meeting with some of these entrepreneurs, learning their stories and understanding what motivates the team behind this incredible venture.
Secrets in the Kitchen was founded by Karen Greene. She was kind enough to let us in on the act.
I'm Secrets in the Kitchen, and I produce a marinara sauce here at Hope and Main. So Hope and Main helps you from the moment you walk in the door. You say, I have no idea where to go, what to do, how to start. And they give you moment to moment what to do first, second, and third, and they continue to help you all the way through. Doing it in bulk was a little difficult for me. So it took me at least 2 years to actually get this recipe right.
And while we were there, we got in the way of some salsa production.
So I started making this for my oldest daughter's teachers. My oldest daughter's 14, she has Down syndrome, so there's a lot of teachers involved in her care at school. And we were making this for them for Christmas gifts, and I did that year after year. And it was about 7 years in where I was faced with taking over my family's business or moving on, and I decided restaurant life is not conducive for young kids in a growing young family, so I got into salsa. If it wasn't for this place, I'd probably still be working in restaurants. I wouldn't have this business. It means everything. It's changed my life. The investment in it would be $300,000, $400,000 with no guarantee of a return if I were to do this on my own. Where with Hope and Main, it's a fraction of that.
Katie Dixon is the owner of Bywater Restaurant and Bywater Bake Shop.
So when we first, I've lived here in Warren, just to give you a little context, I've lived here in Warren since before Hope and Main got started and was part of the economic development board that kind of helped usher them in. And so I always knew I wanted to be in food and wine. We opened the restaurant and sort of lamented like, oh, we have this great kitchen incubator just down the street, which would very much complement our very tiny kitchen over at Bywater. How can we use it? And then during the pandemic, when we decided to kind of launch bakery items, it's a no-brainer. You know, we have 2 ovens at Bywater and no space to do anything. We can't make croissants, we can't make bread, and so we had, it was just the obvious choice was to partner with Hope and Main.
Assisting Dixon is Chef Baker Ben Hayes.
This is just a little sourdough for Wednesday morning. So here we have our all-purpose pan loaf, a miche dough. So it's a combination of white wheat and rye flours. We get all of our flour from Roundup out in Western Mass. It's all locally sourced stone ground flour. The bakery wouldn't be able to exist without access to this kitchen because for sourdough production and for croissant production, we need like an industrial proofer, deck ovens. We have a table sheeter, so that's absolutely necessary for the volume of production that we're doing.
Like pickles? Then meet Sam Chesborough, owner and founder of Pickily.
You know, the cucumbers are sort of like an old family recipe from my grandmother, so I've been making those since I was a kid. Without Hope and Main, it wouldn't have been possible to sort of like test whether, your idea is a product that can actually work and sort of see if you have a fit and something that people will buy before you take a huge financial risk. So Hope and Main makes it feasible to sort of get up and running, learn a lot, develop the product, and find your first customers.
Katie Potter is the owner and founder of Newport Chowder.
I am a woman-owned business that started in 2019 as a spice company selling the spices to make my mother's world-famous seafood chowder. My mom had a restaurant in the 80s and 90s called Muriel's, and she won the Seafood Chowder Festival 3 years in a row in Newport and is now in the Chowder Hall of Fame. I came here through their entrepreneur program, and they helped me understand my business and if it was going to be a good idea. That's really what gave me the confidence to be able to start this. I'm not a chef. I have a sales and marketing background, and I'm a physical therapist.
Upstairs, we caught up with Shelby Doggett, Savory Fare.
Savory Fare is a prepared meals business. We focus on seniors and older clients, people who want to remain in their homes but don't want to cook for themselves every night. We bring prepared, single-serving, fresh and frozen meals to their door. Hope in Maine has been a really good place for us to exist, especially when the pandemic hit and the Nourish Our Neighbor program started, a program that uses funding to pay makers, entrepreneurs, and they actually get paid to make food that then gets donated to people that are food insecure in the community.
Perhaps most importantly of all is Joy Bloodworth, who preps, cleans, and supports all the different enterprises.
People come in, they have a great product. Some of them have never worked in a commercial kitchen. They don't know how to make things in bulk. They don't know how to use the equipment. So I'm around for when they decide they finally need someone. Hope in Maine has helped me because when I first came here, I was living in a shelter, a domestic violence shelter. I started as an intern from the Amos House. They have a 16-week culinary program. They start you off learning how to make things for 200 and 300 people. So I knew how to do that when I came here. And I really enjoy it. I also feel that people have a contribution to make to humanity. I'm like their cheerleader, sometimes their life coach, sometimes their therapist, and really, sometimes their minister. Because if you're stressed out about the kitchen, you can't really do the business part. So my thing is, don't worry about the kitchen. There's some people where they're not even in the kitchen anymore. That's the goal for me. How can we do this so that you can begin to make money? How can we make this faster? How can we make this more? How can we get you selling product? How can we get you not worrying about the kitchen? Because I can do that for you.
And behind it all is founder Lisa Raiola.
Our tagline is Hope in Maine, make food your business. A lot of people can make food, it's harder to make it their business. The majority of people who come to us are not professional chefs. They haven't had any culinary training. What they usually come to us with is a recipe. And what we help them to do is go from recipe to product to brand to business. What we do at Hope in Maine is we don't require you to rent our kitchens for a year and make big financial commitments. You only pay for the hours that you use. So we're going to connect you to capital because it's at each step of the way. Food needs different kinds of capital and technical assistance. And so this is like a giant safety net where you're de-risking your business while you're here. We do small batch contract manufacturing, which is extremely difficult to do and hard to find. And so as you start to step away from the production, we can step in with a team of people that can help you to make your product. If we were a university that never graduated anybody, we wouldn't be a very successful university, right? So we want people to launch, scale, de-risk, and be able to graduate.
But Raiola reminds us she did not do this alone.
Well, I've been in the food industry for quite some time, and when I moved to Rhode Island, I became aware of Hope in Maine very early on. When I saw the job advertised, I dropped everything and applied right away because I really wanted to be involved. Hope in Maine works in 3 different areas. One is the regulatory side, which people are very scared about, right? So we make sure that they have licenses, permits, testing, anything that they need to have a legitimate food business. The second area that we work in is education. We teach a series of classes to brand new food entrepreneurs, and then we also teach a series of continuing education to our existing members so that we're constantly trying to improve their experiences. And then, of course, the third area that we work in is our facility. So we have all these commercial kitchens and storage available for our members so they can actually run a full-fledged business right out of this building.
Remember Patriots Super Bowl winning defensive end Jarvis Green? He fell in love with Hope in Maine during his time in New England and has now come back to offer his support.
Hope in Maine, I know them very well, and Lisa, and we cooked here before. So it was pretty easy, something that we all come together, just local businesses, local people, and having a great time at the same time, and just sharing my cooking experiences, sharing some stories, Q&A, and just doing what I've been doing. Love to cook and be in the kitchen with people. And another big thing is that we really want to help the small businesses with Hope in Maine. Hope in Maine has been around for a long time. They have been a huge incubator for small businesses to come in and put their skills to work, having a kitchen, having access, having freezer refrigeration, because that is very hard in today's world. And then with all the rules and regulations, it's hard just to do everything out of your home, but they can help you grow the right way, to save money and promote your business and to help others. Hope in Maine, that's what they're doing for their local community and small businesses in the hospitality industry.
Want to be featured on the show? Contact us at info@riserec.com or call 401-308-3279.